Happy Saturday and welcome back for day 67 of 100 Days of Halloween. I hope you are doing well and I hope you are getting to enjoy your weekend. When you are seeing this, I know I am. I'm at a family reunion and I'm getting to see lots of family I haven't seen in a long time. So, 100 Days of Halloween, what are we doing? Well, my lovely friend and Yarny sister Ranee over at the Woolly Llama shop had discussed with several of us on a live back in July, right before the onset of the 100 Days of Halloween kicking off, that she wanted to make a fall and Halloween themed blanket. And because it's so hot in the South, she wanted to do it in bite sized pieces, or meaning 6-inch by 6-inch, approximately, granny squares with either a fall or Halloween or summerween kind of theme, colorway, applique, what have you. And she had been scouring the interwebs and compiling this big long list of all these different squares and appliques. And so she decided she was going to draw them at random from her Jinx Jack-o'-lantern of Joy to build her fall Halloween themed blanket. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I wanted to join in because I'd been wanting to make a Halloween themed blanket, just hadn't had the chance. And so I decided I was going to go a little bit different and not follow the norm. And I've been mostly winging it on creativity and inspiration, taking inspiration, what have you, from either Rainy or some other Yarny friends and sisters, Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations, or Patricia at the Yarny Cat Crochet, and you guys, and implementing them into my blanket because you guys are putting suggestions and guesses down in the comment section. The only thing I'm doing at random is every day, with the exception of right now while I'm on vacation, because we drew these in advance. I've been drawing at random every day a square out of my boo box of fate to see what color of a square we are going to be using for the following day. So, doing this one square a day for the 100 days, and now we are on day 67, that means that I have completed squares and I'm doing them in groups of 10. And then I'm doing a little video short as a recap before I implement them into my blanket or feed my blanket. Um, so we've completed 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, 41 through 50, and 51 through 60. And now we are working on 61 through 70. And so let's do a little recap of 61 through today's square and see what we did for today, day 67. So for day 61 square, we drew at random a square that I had made a bunch of out of a whole skein of this Red Heart Super Saver in the Jumbo Stripes Brights, because I loved the way all the colors were flowing and every single square was different. Excuse me. And each square, whenever I've drawn them out of the box, I've basically been leaving most of them blank because I love how the colors flowed and I didn't want to cover them up. But on this one, I chose to cover it up a little bit. And I had a smidgy ball left that wouldn't complete a full granny square. And it was sitting next to my recliner and it kept saying, please use me, please use me. So I decided to make some little Halloween candies and put on day 61 square. All of the information for each day's square, if there is a written pattern or a tutorial, the information will be linked in the description box for that day's square. And so we are going to be tabulating days 61 through 70 while we are on this group of 10. And there is a written pattern on a blog post. So it's down there if you want to make some Halloween candies. Now, not everybody's making blankets, and Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations, she's making wearables. So you can implement those on a wearable if you wanted to. Or like Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet. She's made a handbag, a matching scarf. So she's also implemented an applique onto her scarf and her handbag, but she's also making amigurumi for the fall and Halloween season too. So if you guys are making projects, it doesn't have to be a blanket. You can send us pictures so we can see what you guys are doing. Um, because we're having a lot of fun and we want to see if you guys are having fun. Or if you guys are just watching for the comedy factor and the chaos and the shenanigans, that's great too. So we're just trying to give you inspiration just in case. So back to the squares. So for day 62, we drew at random this square right here that had like this yellow with orange speckles kind of sunset vibe, basically. And then it went into this brighter orange, a deeper orange, a lighter red, and then a deeper red. And I had found a while I was scouring the interwebs looking for something else, I happened upon a tutorial for a bat that I had not seen before called Silly Bat. And so I used the Red Heart Super Saver black sparkly yarn. And I did that little silly bat because he was different than the one I've used before. And I thought he looked perfect on this sunset looking square. So yeah, he turned out pretty cool. I like him. My allergies are kicking in, guys. And then for day 63, we drew out a purple square, much like my purple shirt. And I was inspired by you guys because this is a guess and a suggestion that has popped up a lot. And I was wanting to implement it into a square, and I couldn't find a pattern or a tutorial that was free to use. And so I decided I was just going to wing it, throw caution to the wind, and freehand yet again because I wanted to implement you guys' idea into my square. And so I did the alien in a UFO, and I added a little planets and some stars and a shooting star up here. And yes, he's like a little alien stick figure. So I had to really work with it to get it to look right to fit in this little makeshift UFO that I did. So yeah, and I ended up having to redo the UFO a little bit because it was a little too small and I could only go so small on my little stick figure alien. So, yeah. And then once I got it done, I realized it matches my Missi's Yarniverse and More project bags that I had Ranee from the Woolly Llama Shop make up for me. And I've showed them in the last couple of videos. Um, but I love it. And Rainey's information is down in the description box. um, if you want project bags and you have a channel, I suggest reaching out to her because she does them really awesome and they work with you to get what you want on there as best as they can. I think mine turned out amazing. They actually surprised me with my logo. So, yeah. And I really thought that my alien and my UFO match it pretty well. So that was day 63. And then we started on as of day 64 because I'm on vacation. Um, we had drawn these a week and a half or 2 weeks ago in advance, I think. And as Amie put it, she called it my vacation granny square advent for, yeah. And this way I could be working on them and get my videos filmed so that you guys we could still be doing the squares and be working our way up to finishing this blanket and keeping up with the 100 days. And we drew out a square that was the Red Heart Super Saver jumbo stripes in the neons. And I intentionally left it blank. And I've noticed the last couple days, whenever I look at it, it's reminding me of a black cat kind of. Um, but I intentionally left it blank. For one, I like the color play. There's a lot of these colors in my blanket. And for another reason, because I do have some appliques that are larger than will fit on just one square. And I'm hoping at some point to implement them in and be able to use them because they will need multiple squares. Plus, I also have some appliques that I've worked on and they're sitting in a box that have not been used yet that will probably get put on at a later date. So for right now, our neon square is going to remain like this. So that was day 64. And then day 65, we drew out another purple, the same purple from a couple days ago. And I implemented an applique that was suggested by two of you. Although you had worded it a little different. It was Ranee from the Woolly Llama Shop and Patricia from Yarny Cat Crochet had really wanted to see this, and they had said it a couple times, if I remember correctly. And the only portion of this square that had a pattern to it, which is on a blog and it's linked in the description box, was the apple portion. They wanted to see a caramel apple because, it's synonymous with fall, right? The only difference is Patricia specifically asked for a green caramel apple. So I did a Granny Smith apple with the caramel sauce, and the caramel and the drips are free-handed as well as the stick. But the apple is from the Unraveled Mitten, and it's linked in the description box, so you can find it if you want the apple pattern. And then for day 66 square, we drew out another one made from the jumbo stripes in brights. And this one was giving me, I knew immediately what I wanted to put on it because of the colors in it. And I think yesterday when I showed it, I forgot to say that the applique was actually called the Black Cat Crochet Pattern from Golden Lucy Crafts. And it is linked in the description box as well for day 66 square. I knew I had to put it on here and give him some little bright green eyes to go with this because I knew it was going to set him off. And if you've been around a while, you guys know when I find black kitties that are different from ones I've already done, and I freehanded some as well for different things, I'm putting them in my blanket because I am obsessed with black kitties. I own two of them, and yeah, so they are all over my blanket. That's why we have to feed it. So yes, we did the Golden Lucy Crafts Black Cat Crochet Pattern and put it on this brights square, and I love it. I just love how it sets off the black kitty. So that was day 66. And then as part of this vacation advent for day 67 today, we drew out another one of those brights squares, but the square was done a little bit different. It was done in a C2C fashion. And I'm going to try and cover it up. And it was the greens and the yellows, and it was super cool how it looked. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to put on it. I wanted whatever it was to really pop against that yellow, bright, fluorescent green and yellow background. And so I was scouring the interwebs, and I happened upon a post by Divine Debris. And actually, the pattern that they were talking about in the blog post was for a handbag, and it was in candy corn colors. And someone had used one of her other patterns, or she did, I'm not sure, and just changed the colors on it to go into a candy corn color to make this said applique to add on to that candy corn bag. And like I said, the pattern is from Divine Debris. I will link all the information in the description box. And I think it's for the candy corn bag. And there is an applique, but it's not in these colors. And I had to figure out how to change the colors to get it just right to kind of look like the one that was on the bag. I changed it a smidgy bit color wise, but it was for a cupcake. And so I changed, I think the cupcake was in, I can't remember, I think it was, can't remember what the bottom, the wrapper part was, but they had it in a very light, like almost you couldn't tell blue for like the topping on the cupcake. And so I figured out by rows how many I had to do of each color to do it in to make it look like a candy corn cupcake. And I put the little purple and black sprinkles on there although I don't think you can tell that they are actually purple and black. But yes, I did a candy corn cupcake because I knew these colors needed to be set off with some other bright colors. And I thought this cupcake, looking at that handbag, and they had done that cupcake applique in the candy corn colors, I thought that was perfect. So I figured it out, and I will put the information if you want to do the cupcake in the description box. And yeah, so that is day 67. And I am still having so much fun. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. And yeah, I only have a few days left of my vacation time and I will be back, but I will be back tomorrow because I'm pre-recording for you guys cuz I know you miss me. You're going to miss me if I'm gone. So, come back tomorrow for day 68 cuz I'm getting it ready for you, and see what we put on day 68 square that we drew a couple weeks ago in preparedness for my vacation. So, with that, guys, I love you bunches and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.